earGROUND Radio. New voices.
earGROUND, New Voices Amplified. My name is Plot Marco. King Boaz, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Plot Marco. Welcome to earGROUND, New Voices Amplified, and welcome to a new show. It's pretty new because everything that we're going to be doing is going to be focusing on new stuff that's happening within the showbiz entertainment in Zimbabwe. And I'm joined by my co-host, King Boaz.
Thank you so much. How are you doing, mate?
Great. So to those that are joining in, we're going to be taking you through what has been happening this week, some of the highlights of the week, discussing some of the things that have been happening within the showbiz in Zimbabwe. And feel free to drop your comments and your thoughts on what to be discussing. But maybe to start off with, some of the highlights for this week. And we've had quite a number of interesting developments this week. And one of the biggest developments is this one. And I think it's been a cause of celebration for so many people. So let's check it out.
Deeply honored and excited for this newly forged partnership between the two strong brands, the Zimbabwe brand and the Tammy Moyo brand. I'm more so excited to see the great results we will yield. And like I said earlier on, I hope this inspires young people to keep dreaming big and to scale to greater heights. Let this also be a new door in the quest for titans of industry to support young minds who will be the future of tomorrow. Which is why being part of the innovation of the Haval Julian, which is a game changer in the motor industry, both youthful and fashionable, makes this partnership all the more thrilling. We boast not only about its luxurious interior and gorgeous exterior, but its safety and its intelligence. Therefore, I am confident that I can be a bridge between Zimbabwe and young people who are on the move, young people who are movers and shakers, and we can build together a strong partnership. So here's to success, to new highs, to great results, and to specialized service for special brands. That's all I have to say this morning. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh yes, that's right. In the back, cameras. Wow. Yes. Thank you.
There you have it. That is Tammy Moyo getting her vehicle, a car, from Zimbabwe. King Boaz, what's your reaction?
That's a nice move, even considering that right now in the midst of COVID, there is nothing much that is happening in the art sector. And if a corporate will come out to recognize Tammy, a talented artist, a bright mind who's definitely going places, and to do this and give this particular gesture, this is something that is big for the industry. I believe that every artist should be celebrating this move, and we hope that more corporates will come through and recognize more other players that are there that need this recognition. And this is a plus for our art.
And what's your take home in terms of, like Zimbabwe says that they took 2 years to come up with a brand ambassador, and
I think it's important for a company like Zimbabwe, and also maybe the other thing is what is it that they're looking for in a brand ambassador. So I suppose they were supposed to look into someone's life and make decisions that will have an impact on their brand. And from what Tammy says, it seems like their target market, or what they're trying to do, is to make sure that young people also focus on Zimbabwe, because it's easy to focus on anything else that the media throws at us from the region and from the international platforms. But now if we have something that is hyped up by someone that is local, someone that is coming closer to us, someone that you can identify with, and this is something that I think it's a good move. And no matter how much time it took them, I think they made a right choice at the end of the day.
They made the right choice at the end of the day. But what is the biggest lesson to other artists? Because we've had this whole issue, Zambia and other things being thrown around. I actually saw a comment, somebody saying, what, finally this is a real brand endorsement, and what would be your reaction to that?
Yeah, I think some of the brands that we've seen, we don't even know like who's representing what at the moment. They haven't come out and be defined as a brand of something that we can say, oh, this person represents this. If I try to remember, maybe I can remember of Stana being a brand for ambassador for Coca-Cola back in the days, and it was a big deal. You saw Stana, you saw Delta, you saw Coca-Cola as a brand. And right now, I don't know which artist that I can say I see them and then already kind of link them to a particular organization or a particular product. And also maybe not to overlook Macheso. Macheso also was a brand ambassador for Red Cross, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and I think it's also one person who really stood with Red Cross and did amazing things as a brand ambassador for Red Cross. And he came out and really became that brand ambassador. And I always say we have blueprints in Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, and Kenya. If you think of AKA, you already think about what is done with Reebok. It's clear for you to already identify him. If you look at Casper Nyovest, you already think of what's this Ciroc, the Samsung also. Samsung and Ciroc. Ciroc was with Casper Nyovest for some time. There had millions of packs that were signed on that one. And then he moved on to Samsung. He still has that relationship with Samsung at the moment. And it is a partnership that you can see. It is an ambassadorship that you can identify from a distance and say, yes, Casper represents Samsung, and everyone can see, can identify. If Samsung South Africa is coming up with anything, you know that Casper would be one of the first people to make noise about it.
So would you think that this is an indication to the right direction? I feel from Master to Tammy Moyo, there's been a lot of progression though. Despite that some of the brand endorsement deals really come with nothing apart from shirts, t-shirts, and Zambia, But for these guys, this is actually a big win. Do you think that this signals a shift in terms of brand endorsement and appreciation of the creative sector by corporate sector in Zimbabwe? Yeah,
definitely. We need to celebrate this. And also, I think we shouldn't forget what Master has done. People were saying you can't be an ambassador for Bank APC, Atiaka Noita Sinashet and whatnot. He's there, he is an ambassador. Master is a brand ambassador right now for ABC. They took that bold step towards that move, and I applaud them for that, for recognizing that Master without a T-shirt is a Master who's just an artist, but Master is actually a person who can be in a suit and represent them well when it is necessary. And also, let's not forget, the reason why attention was on Master is because of his art, so you cannot separate that from him.
Oh, great. And let's move to some other news that has been trending this week. Or maybe we leave that for later. But anyway, maybe we could talk a bit about some of the recent drops. This week, we saw quite a number of videos and new music dropping. And I know this is going to be a very unfavorable segment, but definitely we're going to be as candid as possible. This dropped at the beginning of the week. There was Praiser with Shobi. Your reaction to Shobi? For me, I think the visuals were beautiful. They were on point. I liked. I think he has maintained consistency when it comes to the production of visuals. But what's your take? What's your reaction to this song, Shobi?
Underwhelming. underwhelming. The song is a song that I will quickly forget. There's nothing in that song from Ja Preza. I actually saw this song first time. I think it was on TikTok, and I couldn't figure out if this is Ja Preza because I think maybe 4 or 5 people have done those clips dancing to the song. And then when I saw the video, listening to the song, I tried the second time, the third time. There is something that's just not there in the song. But I loved the video. I love the video. Kudos to whoever is doing that work. He's doing a brilliant job, considering that Ja Preza has been working with one of the best filmmakers, videographers in Zimbabwe, Umsebenzi Plex, and whoever did that really tried to maintain a high standard in terms of the visuals. But as for the song, for me, it's a no-no. I don't feel the song. I don't miss it. I don't think I'll be playing it.
Okay, wow. King Boaz doesn't think that he'll be playing it. Just when I'm out with Tamba Mabawa, I do. Because I mean, you know what? I feel that there is sort of a trend when it comes to some songs that Ja Preza does, that they pick up with time. Over time, you know, they start trending, and then people start to see them dancing and vibing to the song, and they're like, oh, but you know what? When he dropped, it was sort of lukewarm, because I don't think that song he made it with the sense of like, I want to make a song, Yenam or something like that, but it was just a song like, why not a groovy song? And I like the producer there. He seems to be really putting in great work. But like you're saying, you didn't feel it. So how many do you give it, like out of 10?
I will give it a 6.5.
6.5. Okay, great.
So I think also maybe people will have to forgive me. Ja Preza has produced like big songs, has produced like huge songs. So there is an expectation from me. There is a certain standard I expect him to be at, but that is not it. That is not it. Maybe I would have appreciated it more if it came from someone new. I would say, okay, it seems like he is going in a certain direction. But to me, that song, it's all right.
Great. Now, moving on to Rocky. Do you think Rocky is on his way to reclaim his lost glory or past glory?
Definitely. If Rocky can be consistent in terms of producing songs like the one that he just stopped, Zuriko, then we definitely have to watch out for Rocky. He's onto something. He's definitely onto something. That song is everything. The first 30 seconds of that song, you're already hooked. You're already wanting more. What is he talking about? Where is this song going? What direction is going? His vocals, whoever did also the instrumental, the visuals, everything was just on point on that song. I believe Rocky is back on this one.
Okay, you believe that Rocky's back on this one? You know, Baba Kiketso also dropped something. He dropped a new song. Did you get a chance to watch it, and what's your reaction to that?
I also love the visuals, but as for the song, I also think he has done better before. He has done better than that. I don't think he was quite there, but the visuals are on point. I love the visuals. I will give it a 9 out of 10 for the visuals. For the song, I'm not feeling it.
Baba Kiketso song when you video bo but I'm gonna vibe can you guys a couple. You know, there's a certain vibe that Andy Murizo has, and I think some are missing on this one.
Maybe it will seem like everyone is experimenting. Maybe they are trying to come up with something new, maybe to change how they've been sounding or something. I'm not sure, but there is something that is really missing from people that you expect to give us home runs in terms of their music.
Great. T-Guns drop something, and apparently I think because the hip-hop streets are flooded by something else, a lot of people seem to have missed this, but I like the video. I don't know if you watched it. I like the video. I think
I watched the video.
You watched the video. What's your thought on the video and the song?
Yeah, the video is proper. It really depicts what he's talking about, Kudara. And then with the song, I'm really not sure. I am at the crossroads with the song because I don't think it's probably Chikon's problem, but I feel like the audio and the sound are a bit clashing. You know, they're almost at the same level. So it's hard to hear what he's saying. You really have to increase your volume to get the proper sound from the song. I listen to it using earphones and I listen to it on a stereo. Still, I'm trying to have that balance between the what he's saying and what the instrumental is saying. But big up to director. Is it Louis 5?
Yeah, Louis 5.
Yeah, Louis 5. Top work. He never disappoints. From the first project that he's dropped, from the first cinematography project that he dropped, he is consistent. He did an amazing job even on this one. But for the song, I think probably technically the song is not quite there.
Great. Technically, the song is not there. We also saw another duet from Knox. He dropped a song that features DJ Tira. What's your take on the song? For me, I'll react on the video first. I think the video is brilliant, heavily invested, because I could see the different, vixens, the locations, the videography, the quality of shots, and the props that we used there. And also having DJ Tira in the video. Seen some collaborations where the other collaborator doesn't appear. It's only one collaborator who appears. I liked it. I like the video. When it comes to the song, I have a bit of reservations. I personally feel that somehow, if you listen to his last 3-4 releases, there's sort of a pattern. The songs sound almost like similar. I don't know whether it's my ears or what, but when it comes to the song, the video, I love it, but the song, I'm not really feeling it. But I think it will trend. It's already been trending in Africa, doing so. I don't know what's your take.
Yeah, also on Knox. First of all, I'd like to say big up to Knox for making these moves, for being able to get these collaborations with people. That is very strategically on his part. He's definitely doing a good thing. But I think maybe he should try and bring the Zaka sound, like the Knox that you know in these songs, to influence the music that he's making. You know, as much as he's working with DJ Tira, he worked with Master KG. Let him not sing on these house instrumentals without retaining his original sound. I believe that he has more to offer on these collabs than what he's given us. So I agree to you that to some extent it's sounding monotonous, but I enjoyed the song. Despite the fact that it didn't sound new. It didn't sound like there's something new that he's given us.
Oh, great. So we're going to take a small break and we're coming back right after this. Stay tuned. earGROUND, your voice is amplified. And we are back. We're back on the earGROUND podcast, where we're reviewing what has been happening, what has happened throughout the week. So still on new releases, we're just talking about a few songs that we just dropped last week. But the highlight of the week was obviously this one. So I'm going to play a snippet of where this whole thing started, and then we get straight into it.
No, all right. Toita say, ndandati maybe tikapiwa kana musambo unobva kuna levels webusim danso topiwa umwe musambo uchabva kuva kumana vanoproducer hip hop tomboona kuti mikombe yenyu haisi yamadhaka here yamunosunza sunza.
Samanyanga.
Yokuisa papresident.
Samanyanga.
Tocha.
Samanyanga zvamunoda tozvatinoita. Kana muchizvikwanisa samanyanga. Kana muchizvikwanisa samanyanga. Ndaona hangu Zimbabwe ya enjoy. Mati kudiza manyanga.
Ndaona kauchiseka kandaona wasiya music waenda kunoshanda pa reception.
Munashisa manyanga zvakangonaka hazvo kuti ndimboratidza hangu simba rangu kuhip hop kwacho munogona kundipa mumwe mukana.
All right.
Kuti munyatsonzwisisa kana makandipa mukana samanyanga ndokupai chimwe chandinokupai. Tinogona kumbopindura kana nyaya dzatiri kunzwa dzichitaurwa muzvikono dzatinenge tichinzwa kunzi iwe unonyadzisira iwe hauna nyadzi ndinongedzerwa. Togona kumbodziwa kudzipindura nyaya dzakada kudaro samanyanga. Makandipa mazuva anokwana kuita 2-3 tinogona kunge tani anza yacho.
Okay, wotombomirira kuti mumbopindura nyaya iyi yatanga yabuka.
Pane imwe nyaya iri kutitenderera muvanhu yandangonzwa ichingonzi iwe.
All right. Pakanaka. Regai.
This is part of the background of where this whole thing started. And we saw a lot of talk online and offline, people talking, about Tubaya Kuluma. From non-hip hop heads to hip hop heads, everybody's talking about this. And I think it all started with this song, and Hilary Mackay, and then we saw a response from Holy 10, and this everything went wild. What's your reaction? What has been your sort of your observation with regard to this whole who's the king of hip hop? But before then, with Probitz came out and said, "I'm the king of hip hop." A week before, we had Enzo Aisha coming out and saying, "I'm the king of hip hop. I'm actually a pioneer of hip hop." And I've lost count how many people have claimed to have started hip hop in Zimbabwe, to be the kings and the queens of hip hop.
Yeah, it's. I think most of the times, it's people that fascinate me are actually people that really do hip hop, because I think they operate from an egotistical position where their ego seem to drive everything that they say or everything that they do. Even now, looking at Probitz, I've known Probitz like forever. I think I met Probitz for the first time probably in 2010, thereabout, while he was still at PE doing beatboxing. So to me, he's been a hip hop guy. He's been embedded so much in hip hop element. He is walking hip hop. He's done dance. He's done music. I don't know what else he hasn't done as far as hip hop elements are concerned. And looking where he's been, how he has traveled with because of hip hop, and I believe he's living, or he is able to make ends meet through the money that he makes through hip hop, which other cats that think they are more hip hop, I'm not sure if they are able to sustain, put bread on the table through hip hop. So now coming back to that, saying I am the best in hip hop, it's something that is used lightly by anyone and everyone. And I think sometimes artists take it too serious, which is something maybe that is necessary for the game, because I can also stand. I have posted that I am the king of hip hop, and So at the end of the day, I don't think it's something that you should really take serious. But I was saying to someone, let's not make noise about who's the king of hip hop on WhatsApp groups or on Facebook timelines. Get into the studios and drop bars. Stop being emotional about people that are being comical. So it's a question of, hey, Pastor was to die. Yes, comic pastor came out through, but if you're going to take his song serious and think it's a lose for hip hop, that's your problem. Do something about it. Stand up for the culture and do something at the end of the day.
Stand up for the culture. Chisale of Pindira. He just dropped something. I'm not coming pastor. So I'm going to say
comical every minute.
This just dropped. This is I think about 20 or 30 minutes old. So I'm just going to play it for the benefit of those that are watching. So stay tuned.
Musanyanye Musazozvinyanya
Oh makasa
Musanyanye kushamisira muchivira musambo wemunhu wese. Izvi zvine varidzi endi mafanzi ndivo varidzi. Ndivo vanokugadza paumambo. Kwete kunyuka kungonyuka woti mambo ndini. Hip hop haisi hove haikandinwe chiraha. Izvi zvine varidzi endi mafanzi ndivo varidzi. Ndivo vanokugadza vakangosvotwa nevo vokubvisa. Bvunza chamaster kuti who is your master? Mafanzi imi ana woli yadhani dhau vemu King James version chingo imba imakatsikama otherwise munopera musati matanga kunge lollipop rinonzi shugeta kutokukanganwai kunge chijosi chinonzi Davita. Saka ingotenda mafanzi woti mazvita. Chero mukati chisale ndewe chiuno handigaye. Chero mukati chisale ndewe sele handikendenge. Ndinotowaina pahipi hopu kutowaina serumba popu kunge kajiti popu because haina muridzi.
King Boaz, hip hop haina muridzi.
Hip hop haina muridzi, that's for sure. But if someone thinks that is more hip hop than anyone, please just get into the studio and drop something that will earn you respect. Otherwise, coming against who did what, there is no way. There is no way we can stop people from doing this or singing hip hop, singing sungura, or singing whatever. So if someone thinks the custodian of the culture, stand up and defend the culture, do something in the culture. And I would like to say shout out to Enzo and Holy 10, whether their beef is real or imagined. The end of the day, people have been talking about hip hop for the past 7 days. So we're not talking about it, So they gave us something to talk about. And the fact that Comic Pastor everyone will look at, okay, what has Comic Pastor done? And then people will say, like, where did this start from? It will go back to the questions of who is Holy 10, who is Stana, who's Kiki, all the people that Comic Pastor mentions in his music. So at the end of the day, this is a win for hip hop. It's up to the hip hop cast to do something about it. I don't see any problem with whoever. Even if Macheso wakes up tomorrow with a verse, it's good for hip hop. But the thing is, I am afraid, hip hop guys, you are doing nothing. You are sleeping. I think you think maybe you are gospel musicians or something. You need to be quiet and tread so carefully and whatnot. But this is not hip hop. Hip hop is a competitive subject. It's a competitive.
Yes, this is what Fungi Chana is saying.
Yeah, So it really needs to have us going up against each other. This is how the game is all over the world. Is like that.
I think for me the biggest winner right now, the king of hip hop, and I'll say it on record, our Duo Mambo.
I encourage apana research kuti tiregister kuvhota naika kwete zvekurwira umambo hip hop izvo andiri kunzwa zviri kuitika panze apo. Aiwa ndozvatisiri kuda izvozvo, register kuvhota. Adego.
Vapana marova shut up, hakuna chinonzi hip hop. Ndiani mambo garai pasi kwesha imanga hamuna mari magara mufamba netsoka. This and that Bugatti. Munoiziya Bugatti. One by one, mirai muline, torai mabasa, itai mawindi, tsvagai mabasa. Holy who, holy what, holy water tinei nayo. Mdiwa who, mdiwa we, mdiwa kaita mbiri ne. Kiki what, kiki way, kika sina kana Ndibei watu wamunoti mambo, kwete madhara anopfeka mitambo. Ndikambidzana navo vanotiza mutambo, ndochimhanya chinhu ichi. Ndini chimuti, dedzai Mr. Putiti, takura moita unity. Musambo.
I think this guy has won the battle. I think this guy, like, so far leads. He's on top. He drops the bars. He's calculative. He's informed about the hip hop culture. And I know he might have done this like as a comic trick, but somehow, I think he killed it.
I don't know if I will agree with you on that. I think yes, he has some punchlines here and there, but looking at it from a hip hop perspective, he only had rhymes, only had things that were rhyming to make it hip hop. On the delivery, no. I still think 1 minute 21 seconds killed everything. Only 10 finished this thing, in the short possible time, and it was done. Yeah. So comic pasta, it's all right for the culture. It's all right that people get to talk about questioning other people that he put in the song. But as for him winning, I don't think so.
Oh, cannot talk about him.
You one on the team. You one on the team. You one on the timber man. You one on the timber man.
Simplex music.
One on the team.
Asan this mliswa.
You one on the team.
Asan this mliswa.
It's actually, you know why I think comic pasta somehow took the crown, because now he's saying, look, Zimbabwe, and if you check what's happening now, a lot of people are now dropping songs, and these songs are comical. They're nothing really, like, there's not so much substance. They just, like, it's just humor, and I don't think the songs will last more than a day.
Yeah.
What's the end game? Because last year
we saw hip hop cats, wherever you are, please do something. All right. Right now, I don't care what you do, but you need to get our attention. You need to move us away from comic pasta, from Baba Harare, from Chisale, and listen to hip hop. These guys took over the momentum of what was happening between Enzo and who's this in Holy 10. And right now people are talking about them, the streets are talking about them, and we don't know where hip hop is. So if anyone
but are you saying that there are people that are supposed to do hip hop only, or it can be done by anybody else? Because if you say comic pastor and I think this is the argument that Enzo Aishal has. He says, look, no one owns it.
I think it's the quality even from Enzo Aishal in terms of hip hop.
What has happened to the quality that we've been getting from hip hop? They've been making quality, but that quality never went anywhere.
Maybe for hip hop, as for me, I would think that maybe people are listening to the wrong people. The airplay is not being given to the people that are singing proper stuff, So but, I don't know.
But how did? Okay, let me just play something and then.
Come on, see. Come on, see. Yeah, makanda jirapa sipo. Jesu Kristu jamuridombo dama butarira vese. Mesi titi shanti rudo atoma harari kese. Makanda jirapa sipo. Uya we Chinese ubega up. Makaya magazo diko. Akanzi time it up break up. Kuneva nebasa. Beki ndokunzi mambo zano. Mono wazagano zano. Mujanzi ditengere ice cream. Mukapita chanto.
Yeah.
Ice cream,
yeah. And talking of Holy 10, I think I have criticized Holy 10 before, but it's only on one song, maybe one or two songs. The song that I can remember is the one that he did with Anita Jackson, where I thought, no, the song was a no-no for me. I didn't feel, I don't think they both came to the party in that particular song. But anything that is before and anything that is after, Holy 10 has always been on point. And there are people that have been doing proper stuff as far as hip hop is concerned, but I'm not sure if they're getting airplay.
What do you consider proper? Because I think this is why I have a bit of a problem with a lot of hip hop heads. They are very, what do you call it?
They have an expectation of how the song or what hip hop should be.
They have exactly. They have an expectation, but also, the thought that okay, you are also hip hop, you are hip hop. I don't know what defines that, because if you check some of the biggest songs that I've ever played, some of them don't even consider them as hip hop. Look at Godo, which I think is one of the biggest track. Godo and Leonard Mapfumo track. Which track was that? Even Amai. And I mean, those songs were so big that hip hop in them, they were hip hop. And you still hear hip hop heads saying, look, in case hip hop is still straight by hip hop. But now hip hop has been changing, has been evolving.
With Enzo, for example, 10 out of 10 for whoever did that instrumental. That instrumental was a proper item. But I have a problem with his delivery. If you're going to look at his delivery as a hip hop artist, it surely shows that he hasn't been doing this thing for a long time. But Enzo has numbers. So that also, if he comes up with something that people can consume, that people can accept, it's easy for him to be accepted. If any other artist did that song that Enzo did exactly the same, I don't think it will get people's attention the way it did with Enzo. And then we're looking at hip hop. Let's look at people like Junior Brown. Maybe we look at Mariachi. We look at Tate the MC, Simba Tex. Look at the late Kelvin. Look at Muse from Bulawayo, Project from Bulawayo. If you listen, or Floppy X, if you listen to their music, you can identify that these are people that are with the culture. Luminous, for example, the flow switch, the lyrical, the cadence in the song, you can feel that this is hip hop. So I think for hip hop heads, that's where they get stuck. And I was explaining to someone that the problem is we cannot prescribe what consumers consume. All the artists can do is to release music, and if the fans love it, whether you think as a hip hop head is hip hop or not, is besides the point, because people don't have a frame where they say we have to measure this hip hop song against this particular frame. So consumers consume everything. That's why even some fake things.
But why are consumers not consuming those very good hip hop heads? They're very good sounding. Why they not be consumed if they are good?
I think it's a lack of strategy. Like, you remember we were talking about South African music. That South African music, it doesn't seem like there's much in their lyric in terms of omunye phezu komunye, abantwana bama Uber, and all these songs, John Vuligeti and all that. Those are very strategic phrases and themes that people can identify with. Probably the problem is with the hip hop, while the song is sounding good, while the lyrics and bars are on point, while the flow switch and everything, that the hook is on point, it probably doesn't identify or resonate with people or with the target audience. So if they could have themes that could resonate with people that they're singing for, I think that could do something for their sound, for their music.
This is interesting. You're talking about the lyrical content that somehow is kushika. So, I mean, technically, we can say hip hop is like that. The paraffin lamp. When the paraffin lamp, the string is so short that it's not getting to the paraffin.
Yeah, I think so. Like, for example, I would put a song like this song from Victoria, these guys from Victoria Falls, Oputiwe Space Izankaleli. that title already, if you say Izankaleli today, Gobulawayo, without that song, let's say that song was not there, everyone will look at you because that title on its own already had something. I think we lack that creative debating of people to say this is something that you need to listen to. So we are not giving people something that people will say, what is he talking about? What is this? So Izankaleli, if you listen to this song and how it was done and how trending it was, there is nothing that was I can say, oh, these guys took so much to think about this. They simply look at something that could get people talking, and they did their song based on that. So I think if any hip hop artist is to blow and do something, do like what Stana did when he was at the top of his game. Everything that he was doing was things that he could easily shoot a video in his ghetto. But now with hip hop cats, most of them, you need to have a mini New York to shoot their video, instead of having a song that could be done in Makokoba or Mbare, because you are hip hop, but you are from Zimbabwe. So give us something. Look at Questa, where he does his music. Look at all these other African artists from Nigeria, from Ghana. They do their music in their hoods because the subject they're talking about are things that identify with them. So we need something that could identify with us, and then that will make a huge difference.
I totally get where you're coming from there, but do you think that Zim Danso guys have a chance with hip hop? Because I'm gonna play something, and you tell me what you think.
Hey yo, X, Fonera Sunshine, it's your boy Klaus. That voice a hip hop advice. Yo, dirige life, who can you? I'm name no disasa. Poverty was my personal trainer like Basa. Food kumaraim do kwa taito angasa. Cause patent taira la majema kasa. Bamwevani my choice ne mapasa. Isuta isotora java nenge varasa kumaraim. Isuta itali sidwa daza. We grew up in the ghetto, tough life takapasa. Jema PlayStation, jesa vako ku location. Taitamba nodo pada wishu soka session. Kuja mupunga jaiko shasera baba besen. I'm certain babata tuni vano barokeshen. Kaira na mapasi na choice. Kaimu kwa bageto ne noise.
That's Ricky Fire, King Klaus.
All right.
He just dropped that song like 7 hours ago. Do you think that these guys have a chance to hip hop, or they should just stay kumangoma kwawe kokuna enzo wese ongogera mangoma?
This song, I think I'll have to listen to it maybe 2 more times to make a proper judgment. But listening to this song, I'm surprised to say that it's Ricky Fire, because I would have expected maybe a certain level, even if he was going to do hip hop. He's been in the game for some time, but I think it's still not there in terms of his lyrical composition, how he brings across his ideas. Because the problem with hip hop, no matter how silly it has to be, it has to come in with some creativity or of some sort. I could listen to Holy 10 music, a song that is 2 minutes. I could rewind it 10 times and listen it to over and over again because of how his word arrangement and how he brings across his ideas in his music, which is what is necessary for hip hop. And also, like what I was saying about hip hop before, if you look at Holy 10, he brings across subjects that could identify, something that people could easily say, oh, mwana wangu, oh, ndini, oh, that's my sister, or something like that. It's something that anyone can identify with. Which I think it's a simple formula that people should follow. Yes, you can sing about your aspirations. You can sing about the things that you don't have, but it's important to sing about things that people could see, people that could feel when you sing them, people that could think that people could identify when you sing about it.
But here's the thing, I don't know, is it the audience? Because like now there's a new song that just dropped. It's a Cynic featuring Vusi Mkaya. And I'll just play a snippet of the song.
And so it was that with grim determination we set forth, knowing the journey would change us in ways we were yet to conceive. Chiripo chinondisunganidza neivhura baba Africa, nezuro, nhasi, mangwana, nekumhepo. Zvinotopinda mumasango kure nerukuvute makati gura nayo namo kunaimi vakuruwe zvatinosangana nazvo zvimwe hazvibvunzwe musha wamera meno tapararira kwose. I left a journal by the road, weathered by the stones, filled with letters that I wrote for those served from their home.
Beautiful music. Beautiful.
Wow, that is a beautiful song. That's a beautiful song. That's a beautiful song.
But why do Zimbos sleep on such music?
I think it's the gatekeepers, man.
Who are the gatekeepers? Who's keeping
what's
the gate?
being played? Who's playing? What music is being played on all the radio stations? You know, where are they getting? Or for example, you know how dancehall came to be popular. It started as a 1 hour show, 2 hour show, and 3 hour show. Now it's all over the place. Probably we need the same thing with hip hop, where we know that hip hop can be played anytime. But now for hip hop, there's a congestion. We are all looking for the space on ASAP show on Skies FM, are all looking for a space on Skies FM, and are looking for a space in an hour with DJ Thon on Kulmani FM, and then we have the fix on ZFM. Then you have showbiz Prometheus on Power FM.
Okay.
So these are small spaces, you know, where hip hop is, you know, and maybe we need a deliberate effort, you know, to say, why not play hip hop? You know, why not give hip hop more space and more time? Because most of these songs, like most people that don't know most of these artists, they will say Zimbabwe doesn't have music, Zimbabwe doesn't have this. But then you play a song for them, they will say, is this Zimbabwean? This doesn't sound Zimbabwean. So what does Zimbabwean sound to you?
But I totally get you there. But look at it this way. If already on ZFM, hip hop has got a dedicated 3 hour show, and on Power FM, hip hop has got a 3 hour show, and on Sky's Metro, it is also the same. We've got the blog on Diamond FM, and almost every radio station, except maybe Radio Zimbabwe, Nyami Nyami, and a few others, have got dedicated hip hop programs. Do you think that if hip hop heads and the hip hop community had content that could prove why they should get prime time, why they should get, I'm not saying that they're not supposed to get, but I'm saying why they should get even more time? Because with the Zim Danso, you remember, it was Smiley, and Smiley just had that very late night, once a week show. But he pushed from that show to a point where all the other stations followed suit. Why? Because there was a demand. People were loving the content. There was a lot of, support. There was no way anybody could ignore the sound of Zim Danso. But when you look at hip hop, there's a sense of entitlement. This is why everybody is claiming to be a king. Everybody is claiming to be have won the most awards and stuff. I know. Yes, I know some could say it comes with the culture, but I feel the sense of entitlement also comes with a lot of complacency, a lot of they are so reluctant, like they are so reluctant. They assume, okay, you know what, we're hip hop, we're doing this, and they're happy with their one show a year. The Zimbabwe Pop Hours, this is where they shine, and they massage each other's ankles there. But in other time, you don't see passers. I've seen a couple of, like, Zimbabwe has done some stuff in schools and communities, universities, but you don't see that same kind of push. But with Zim Danso, there was no way radio DJs could ignore the music.
Yeah, I think maybe the advantage of Zim Danso, it will now make me sound like a broken record, but I think it's still the issue of having hip hop music that identifies with people, that can be part of people's culture, that people can say this is who we are, like what Dancehall has done. Dancehall has taken over Mbare, for example. It's everyone wants to identify himself as a dancehall, identifies with that sound. He's informed from that sound. So maybe for us to bring it down, maybe hip hop heads as all of them, just as all of them, they need to look at what they're producing and probably try to have something that identifies with what everyone does. But also, where I don't forgive our media is where someone gets to be played in California, in UK, and elsewhere, and they're not saying anything about you. This is Luminous, for example. Luminous was being played. Luminous was called, sent an email, and was told that your song would be on rotation on a station in California because your song is good. After sending the song to all radio stations that he could in Zimbabwe, all radio stations that he could in SA, stations in Europe, and stations in America. America was the first to come up, UK, Ireland, and I don't know which other country in the rest of Europe. And as Zimbabwe were catching up last to our own people. I don't have an excuse for that. I don't understand when that happens. So as much as the hip hop heads may not be producing something that identifies with people, there are people who've done work that you should have celebrated, even if it's going to be the one song that gets to be played on Radio Zimbabwe, or one song that gets to be played on a breakfast show on any other station on a day where no one is expecting hip hop to be played. Let it be.
No, I hear you, but wow, this is quite interesting. So I'm gonna play something because I love hip hop, but I still feel that a lot needs to be done from the hip hop community. So for those that are watching, stay tuned. We're discussing the developments that have been happening in the past week, and we know this still the number one trending track, and I'm gonna play it once more, just a snippet, so that I don't infringe on copyright. So stay tuned.
I encourage vapana vese vechidiki kuti tirejeste kuvhota naika kwete zvekurwira umambo hwehip hop izvo andiri kunzwa zviri kuitika panze apo. Aiwa ndozvatisiri kuda izvozvo, registai kuvhota.
vapana marova shut up, hakuna chinonzi hip hop. Ndiani mambo, garai pasi, kweshai manga, hamuna mari, magara mufamba netsoka. This and that Bugatti, munoiziya Bugatti. One by one, mirai muline, torai mabasa, itai mawindi, tsvagai mabasa. Holy who, holy what, holy water, tinei nayo. Mdiwa who, mdiwa we, mdiwa kaita mbiri ne. Kiki what, kiki we, kika sina kana Ndibei watu wamunoti mambo, kete madara anopfeka mitambo. Ndikabidzana navo vanotiza mutambo, ndochimhanya chinhu ichi, ndine chimuti. Dedzai Mr. Putiti, takura moita unity. Usambo waenda, waitwa komedi. Imba isungura, pada mungaite mari. Usambo waenda.
Azimsambo waenda,
imba isungura, mungaite
mari. That's not terror.
But what's the end game? Who's gonna make? Is this gonna translate into money, or you remember last year?
I think hip hop lacks that momentum. Even from Jeezy and Noble Styles, we gave them the attention when they made noise. And also you look at the shows like Chamvari. Chamvari has hosted Enzo. He has hosted who's this? Holy 10, I think, in the past week, or if I'm not mistaken, I think both of them have featured on a show, or one of them, and this is coming from the backdrop of this noise that has happened. So as a hip hop community, I think probably there is something that's lacks in terms of writing these waves, doing something about this. I remember that.
How can they write the wave? Because it's something that I find quite interesting. How best can you advise hip hop heads? I saw one of your posts where you're saying, look, you have to jump in, you can't stand on the sidelines. But how can they ride the wave and make
For example, right now they can come and justify why they think they're kings, or why they think Comic Pasta is wrong, why they think Enzo Aishal cannot sing hip hop. That is all material for a verse. That is all a material for a song as a hip hop that you could come up with. So I think Arab Pills I don't know if he's dropped something, but he said he wanted to drop something to justify why he's the king of hip hop. And already, if you look at his statement, bloggers, people have already commented and coming against him. That is good for other pills. Other pills, people have attention right now. People are waiting for you to do something. Those who approve of you and those who don't approve of you. If you drop something, everyone will want to hear what it is that you've done. So I think it's about timing. And now, right now, this will fade away, and we'll wait for another beef, I suppose.
Because last year we saw another beef. Yeah, compared up Bryce and remember we had Noble Styles and Jeezy then, but it didn't even go far. Before you respond there, I'm just gonna play the RPU's response to this, and then.
All right.
makushigadza umambo makusvita kunge imi ndimakaipa makutofamba patambo makuita suicide muchazvidzipa muchisimbisa na nyambo jacks ndipe chikobit ndigare ndatipa hazvina basa ndiani yatrenda number 1 ndini kuitwa ngekipa musatange zvamusingazogone kupedza maredza kusina mafish pataiita zvekuimba hiphop vamwe venyu maisuka madish tiri mageto youth tovapindira pabase nemota yewish hatipindire mabeef asi for sim hiphop togadzira dis ichi hachisi chepesi nari tiri madhara mavhetinari ndinogona kungoimba paridhi ndovasiyira kusemitari tiri mambo zvemashuwa madhiri ndinongomikisa kunge kemikari ndinogona kungoimba paridhi ndovasiyira kusemitari toita kepere close vanoimba zimdanso huyai close tokupai my direction asi varasika vese vapinda muclose aya masports ndiriwe fifa udza vapana vaise papose vanondiziva kwatinobva vanongoti ichi chinopedza masports hatina basa neari kutrenda isu topisa mustreets hatina munhu watinokwata tinokubika semiti kana muchida huyai mese
Yeah, that's an open invitation. I've got it in my thinking chat drop a hip hop track,
But I'm like, is the average fan Munariku Budiri or somebody who's then Luveve? Do they really follow this, or this is all?
No, I think that is also the problem, really. That maybe we should ask, like, what is the reception like for these things, even for this beef? Who really gets to hear that Enzo Aisha is fighting with Holy 10, that Comic Pastor has dropped something? I think also for Comic Pastor, kudos to Comic Pastor, because Comic Pastor has a following. So Comic Pastor is some kind of a conduit to more fans to hear and follow this. But otherwise, other people, I think they have maybe their dedicated fans who cannot be found anywhere else, except in certain places, in certain areas, So I think also that becomes a problem, and also prohibitive data charges. How much is it for any average person to access? Does it cost an average person to access that kind of beef and follow it? So I think it comes with so many things at the end of the day. Whether maybe we'll listen to people who say, I don't see the benefit in participating in this. Maybe they have a point, because where does it go? How far does it go? Who gets to hear this? How I will try maybe after this to try and make a survey in a number of groups that I'm part of to ask questions. Do you know this? Do you know this? And also maybe there is a problem, because I know everyone knew that Ramaphosa's iPad was in, but they don't know that Comic Pastor dropped something. So I think we also have a problem maybe as a nation, as a nation, because the iPad story is trending. I think I've seen it all over. I've seen it in people's statuses and stuff like that. So I think maybe we have a problem in appreciating the things that are happening in our own backyards, you know. So, and at the end of the day, it's not a question of data, it's a question of interest.
It's a question of interest, but also, don't you think it's also a question of us being deprived? Look, man, we still have got one TV station. So some of us, we literally spend the whole day running on the streets to try and pick what's happening, right?
Yeah.
But for an average person to be able to get all this information, to be online with the data course, and also to be able to tell whether what's true and what's not. It would actually be like a 9 to 5. It's like a real job. Do you think it's possible?
Yeah, true that. I think it really becomes complicated for an average person to get everything that we are able to gather and talk about. So I am not sure how best this can be done, to have a system that cascades this information to all and sundry. I would try and be weird and post these things on groups at random and see how people will react and see what people will say.
Great. Trying to be weird. South Africa is moving when it comes to films, and this week they just dropped another series. You know, Jiva. As cool as it. Well, what's your take? South Africa is doing it, and this film was shot during the pandemic.
COVID. Yes.
So they did not say, "Oh, look, you know, things are." We're on lockdowns, we can't shoot a film, and they dropped Jiva, which I'm loving. What's your reaction to that? Zimbabwe would cook off, and that was it.
Yeah, I think I was talking to my nephew and saying that South Africa is on another level. Let me talk about Jiva first, and then maybe talk about maybe the film industry in Zimbabwe. Jiva has done so many things to me. I don't know if anyone was noticing. You know, first of all, they marketed their country. They marketed Durban, like in almost every shot. Whoever did that cinematography, that person is a beast. You know, and then comes to the dance itself. Almost every conversation had dance. Every line.
And did you notice something? Did you notice that the dance was not just dance? They were dancing to their own music.
And
all the music were the songs that we actually know. You know, this is they're pushing on a piano, and you know, all the house music.
You know, and fashion-wise, Amaxhosa, enough respect to Amaxhosa. The main character Untombi and his brother Sam in the series are rocking Amaxhosa, going to sleep, chilling at home, going to work, going to school. Amaxhosa came through in this series. Enough respect. Like, I looked at Adidas, that was rocked by one or two actors in there. It looked ordinary. Amaxhosa can make sure that those guys, that is too much. You know, they advertised. Also, another thing on Jiva, the stories. It's not a depressing story. It's not a typical story that leaves you depressed. It shows you that people make mistakes, but they're able to rise above those mistakes and have something positive. That is an awesome positive story. And then what else? The cast,
yes. Do you think Zimbabwe can match this? Where are we missing it? Where are we failing together? Because we've had last year with China, which I think was okay. It was okay in terms of production and stuff. You could see it was heavily invested, but I found it a bit superficial or in a like more cliche. We've seen quite a lot.
I think with Zimbabwe, I think we went forward for some time. And then I'm not sure, maybe it's because of the economic situation or whatever it is, but we've gone back so much in our creativity as a country. Because looking at that and looking at, can we do something like that? Yes, we can. But the question is, in how many years? What will it take for us to get there? You know, and I think probably also the other thing, we lack visionaries in our midst. We lack people that could see beyond today see beyond and see the potential that the arts has. Because South Africa has invested so much at the government level. We have invested so much in their culture, in their art. They come through to support those initiatives. And South Africa, I don't know, maybe it's 2 decades ahead of us right now. We are creative people. We are all that, but that is on another level. We look at the Blood and Water, look at this series, look at Queen Sono. I cannot compare it to anything in Zimbabwe at the moment.
Well, we're going to be talking more about film. We're going to set another date and we discuss more about film. But it's quite interesting to see what's just happening across, Limpopo in terms of milestones, in terms of achievements. We still a bit of a distance when it comes to such achievements, and we needed to be, pulling our socks and putting more effort. On a more positive development before we close, Shungudzo was debuted on the Billboard's Adult Alternative Play, the AAA chart, and her track was on number 39. It's a good day.
The good day, yeah.
System, and we see a lot of Zimbabweans doing amazing things outside the country, and I think it's quite impressive that every week we've got amazing news.
Amazing people. Yeah, it's a good thing that I think even I was looking at The Voice the other day, and I realized that there's so much we've done for The Voice UK as Zimbabwe. I don't know what the other season. It was Zimbabwe was a finalist. It was number 2, Donel Mangena, and then last year Zimbabwe won the show. I've forgotten the name of the girl. So these are people that are brought and still doing it. So we still have a Zimbabwe flag being flown around, and I think we need to appreciate that and be inspired that we are able to do this, given the right resources, given the right environment. There is nothing that is limiting to us.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much to Fugichana, Tafi Arts, who've been tuning in from the start until now. They've been watching the program. Thank you so much to you guys. Comrade Boaz, thank you so much.
King Boaz,
I'm out. Next week, we are back again every Friday, remember, from 8 to 9. We just went up beyond our time because it was quite interesting, but we'll be discussing what's happening in the showbiz. And remember, don't take anything to heart. This is purely showbiz, and we have got no personal issues with any of the artists or the content that we're reviewing. Is purely Desrebasa.
Desrebasa is, and I am still the king of hip hop.
Yes, we've got the king of hip hop here until somebody dethrones him.
Until someone takes the crowd.
Awesome. So until next time, stay tuned to earGROUND New Voice Amplified.
Cheers.